I like to start by saying I was involuntary homeless a couple of years ago. Like she stated, I went to actually my nephew got killed on my daughter's 13th birthday, and we ended up coming back home to visit, get back to our location. I was locked out of my home. So went through that over the course of the years. It's just been like a continuous cycle. Dealing with trying to get back on my feet and start over from scratch. Also having to live with Crohn's disease, and my daughter having a mild case of autism. But one day at a time, I'm able to try to get myself together. You know, the more I share my story, the more I'm finding out is more stories like mine. So I'm not the only one out here that's going through this. So that gives me strength to carry on each day. So right now, presently, I've gotten me a job to try to get myself back on my feet. Still haven't been able to find housing. I went to a place. The guy seems like he was trying to run a scam. When I got to give him the money for the deposit, he tried to ask for more money. So I did end up getting the place. So it's just been like a continuous cycle of just trying to stable and get stable at the same time and try to deal with COVID, me being a higher risk with the Crohn's disease, trying to get away from, stay away from getting sick. But then, I'm working at a job where I'm working with over 300 to 400 different people every day coming from all over everywhere. That's putting me at a higher risk of having COVID. My mom just got out of the hospital. She's on a 14-day quarantine. So that's why I'm sitting out here in the car because I'm trying to stay away from her, trying to keep my daughter safe and myself safe at the same time. So it's just me trying to just, stay on track, get focused, and try to find a way where I can come up with a solution, not only for me, but others around me to have that security and safety that we're entitled to as humans.
The first question I would like to kind of ask is when you in the times that you did experience being without the shelter that you were accustomed to, how did that impact you as a human being? How did it impact your view of how you saw the community at large?
I'll start. I think it messed with me mentally, more because I was like the stronghold, in a sense, you know what I'm saying? I had it together, I had my plan, I did everything the way I thought I was supposed to do it, regardless of me being sick, I still went to college, I still got a degree, I still forced myself to overcome obstacles in my life. But when you in my situation, it was more like complete breakdown mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. I gave up hope and like life altogether because I could never phantom me going from working so hard to get where I was at, to just be pushed aside like that, like I didn't matter anymore. Like everything I worked hard for just was just gone, and it was not nothing that I felt like I did wrong.
Mhm.
And then I had my daughter with me. So it's more about my daughter than myself. You know what I'm saying? I felt like a failure as a parent more than a failure of anything else because I couldn't provide for her. And watching her go through her transitions, that like really kind of took me to another level. It made me become a different person in a sense.
Okay.
Um, you know, um, excuse me, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cry,
No,
but
take
it was more like an emotional breakdown, mental breakdown, like a spiritual breakdown. Like strong faith based, grew up in church. I gave up, like, why would God do this to me? I'm doing everything. And, after overcoming sickness and, dealing with that, going through all those surgeries and then get hit with this, out the blue, it wasn't expected.
Right.
it made me feel less than a human being, and then it was like after asking for help, it's already hard to ask for help, when you're in that situation. But then when you start asking for help, there is no help, and people are acting like trying to figure out, what your next step is going to be, still trying to get your mental together, your strength together to press on, being rejected, So after a while, that messes with your mental. So you have to find somewhere to find some strength, and I had to really dig down deep, 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 deep inside, of me, and find me again through all of this, and say, you know what, Coletta, let's just start over. Let's just look at this as a reset completely. Let's just find a way to at least go look for a job or put in applications. If a job come through, take the job, even if you got to press through the job. So a job came through, I found a job. So that was goal number one. Goal number two is to try to find stable housing for me and my daughter. So now I'm putting in applications again, trying to find stable housing. Got hit with a couple of craziness with that. But I still press on. I'm still not at that all the way give up point. But some days I do cry. Some days I do go and hide and want to shut down because I'm like, what am I doing wrong? What am I not doing right? That I'm not seeing the progress that I should be seeing at this point. So it has been a mental breakdown more than anything. And you can be strong physically, but if your mental is messed with, that messes with everything around you. So I
Yeah.
just had to find ways every day to try to build up my mental so that I have strength to carry on to make sure that my daughter is okay. You know what I'm saying? So my focus now is just making sure my daughter is okay. I'm not even worried about me and my health anymore at this point because at the end of the day, I still have to make sure she is safe. So that's where my focus has been now is I'm trying to get this job, trying to push through my health issues. I'm still going to doctors. I'm getting tests done right now to try to see get this Crohn thing back under control. So I'm still getting my medical help and still trying to deal with that. So it's just been me trying to stay together pretty much with everything going on and not giving up on me. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And I do think, the people around me, you guys, Glency, I love you so much. You have been a rock more than you know. Talking with you on the phone and on down those days, and you like, don't you do it. So I really, really do love you so much more than you know. Joel, thank you for all you've done. It's so many of y'all. Mr. Sadler, you as well has been an inspiration. So many of you have been an inspiration and have kept me going through the work that you are doing to the community to show that, there are people out here who was pushing, who was fighting for us to continue to stay strong. So I just love you guys and appreciate you guys so much. And everybody that I didn't mention, forgive me, but I do appreciate you all so much.
Thank you so much for sharing. And whew, we need to take a moment to just sit with that and then exhale. Um, a courageous story, a true life story of what persons like you and others experience. And it's not the story that we see in the news. It's not the story that we hear some of our elected officials share. It's not the story that we hear even some of our um, those in our pulpits tell. It's the real story of what and how lives are impacted when they experience this tragedy. And Coletta, I want to say thank you so much for your willingness to share your soul with us so that hopefully those who are listening will understand that you are gifted, you are talented, and you had a situation that put you on a different path, a situation that should not have happened. And this group, this body, is here to do whatever we can to make sure you and others um, don't fall through those cracks that leave us hopeless, a feeling of hopelessness.